Infor Factory Track for CSI stock move. To move material from one location to another location within a warehouse, use the stop move transaction. Factory Track has a few stop move parameters control displayed fields. These are defined on the transaction set parameters form for the stop move transaction. For this training, we've enabled these parameters in order to show where those fields appear in the transaction steps. Note that this transaction can support label printing by clicking on the label print parameters to define your configurations. If enabled, the label printing form is displayed following completion of the stop move transaction. To start the stop move process, from the Factory Track Warehouse Mobility main menu, click on the Move It icon. This navigates to the Inventory Transactions menu, where you click on the Stop Move icon. Factory Track supports stop move of a container or of a specified item. To perform a stop move using a container, the Containers in Use parameter must be enabled on the Global Parameters form. Enter, scan, or search and select the warehouse ID from which the materials are to be moved. This can also be defaulted based on the user's warehouse setting on the user form. Enter, scan, or search and select the container ID to be moved. Factory Track refreshes the form to display only the fields pertaining to the container move process, including the container's current location. Enter, scan, or search and select the to location ID to where the container will be moved. Click on the Process button to complete the transaction. If the transaction is configured to automatic print labels in quiet mode, the labels are printed without showing the label print screen. The printing screen is displayed if the transaction is configured to manually print the labels. To perform a stop move for a specific item, enter, scan, or search and select the warehouse ID from which the materials are to be moved. This can also be defaulted based on the user's warehouse setting on the user form. Enter, scan, or search and select the item ID to be moved. Factory Track displays the associated item description and refreshes the fields on the screen based on whether the item is lot and/or serial controlled. Enter, scan, or search and select the location from which you are moving the items. Factory Track defaults the rank 1 location. Enter, scan, or search and select the lot ID of the items to be moved. Factory Track defaults the lot based on the CSI configurations. Note that this field is hidden if the item entered is not lot controlled. Enter a document number for the material transaction reconsolidation or grouping in CSI. The document number is used for processing both regular and serial controlled items. Note that this field is only available if the document number in use parameter on the transaction set maintenance form is set. Factory Track displays the on-hand and available quantity and unit measure based on the provided item and location, as well as the lot if it's a lot controlled item. Enter the to move quantity. If the input unit of measure parameter is enabled on the transaction set maintenance form, Factory Track enables the unit of measure field for entry or search and selection. If the item is not serial controlled, then the to location field is enabled for entry. This example is a serial controlled item, so this field is not available yet. For non-serial items, the process button is enabled to submit the transaction. However, as this is a serial item, the next button is displayed. Click on the next button to continue. Factory Track requires definition of the serial numbers for the items being moved. Based on the to move quantity entered, Factory Track populates the total quantity field. The scan quantity indicates how many serial numbers have been captured so far. Enter, scan, or search and select from predefined serial numbers for the items being moved. Once the scan quantity equals the total quantity, Factory Track disables the serial field for further entry and enables the process button. We can then enter, scan, or search and select the to location to which the items will be moved. We can click on the Show List button to view the serial numbers captured for processing. Click on the Clear List button to remove all the serial numbers captured, or the Back button to return to the previous screen. Or we click on the Process button to complete the transaction. If the transaction is configured to automatic print labels in quiet mode, the labels are printed without showing the label printing screen. Otherwise, the printing screen is displayed if the transaction is configured to manually print labels.